Hello guys, today we are going to discuss about the builder pattern. Builder pattern is used to delegate the object creation responsibility to a separate object. Basically, if you have an object, so you delegate the creation object creation responsibility to separate builder of that object. So what is the use of it? Basically, it is used first to create a complex object. So basically, if you define a builder of an object and if the object is complex, so you encapsulate the object creation into the builder, and now it is a builder responsibility to build that complex object. And nowhere in the code base you can directly initialize the object. So object is only allowed to initialize from its builder. This is the first use. And the second use is it used to define different representational state of the same object. So what is the meaning of define what is the meaning of representing different different representation state of the object? It means you can define different builder of the same object, and the different builder will create a different state of an object. So state, I means the attribute, you can say. So maybe we will take example about this. How what are the meaning of the different state representation? Let's write what we have discussed. So first, builder pattern is builder pattern is used to create a complex object. Second, it used to create different representation state of object. Let's try to understand the both thing. Suppose let's take an example. We have an house object. We have one house object. House object, we can say house class. This is basically a house class. This is written wrong. This is house class. And uh, and basically these are our this is the outer world. It can be code base or like the outer world, anything, another component, another service, user, anything. So basically it is outside, uh, anything outside that class. So this is the house. And the first customer is saying, give me a create an house with no window but having two room and one parking. Basically this house class have three attributes: window, room, and parking. So first guy is saying, give me a house with no window but two room and one parking. Second guy is saying, give me create an house with one window, one room, and three parking. And similarly all these three guys are saying something uh, different, right? So basically creating an object first in this case with no creating an house with no window and two room and one parking, and creating a different object with one window, one room, and three parking. Basically this is the different state. So first state is different from the second state, and this and third state is different from uh, both the one and two state. So similarly we have different state. Basically these are the six state, and this house object is itself is a complex object. So many things is happening behind the scene. Just suppose it is a very complex object, and and there are multiple state associated to this class, right? So this is the reason we use a builder pattern, because I can give you another example to understand very easily. So suppose you have a class and you have an attribute A and B and C, right? Now, to support different state, you started defining the constructor. So first you define the default constructor with no value. Then you define another constructor with the only attribute A. Then you define another constructor with the attribute A and B. And then define another constructor with the value A, B, and C. And similarly, other values also, right? Uh, B and C and and A and C, something like this, right? So all possible combination of a constructor. So this pattern is known as the telescoping construction. This is a telescopic constructor, and to avoid the telescopic constructor, because this code looks messy, right? Defining all possible constructor for the attribute, and this is an overhead for the developer, right? Because this is not feasible to define all type of the constructor to support all kind of representational state. So these are the different representational state of the object. So by delegating the object creation responsibility to builder, we avoid this overhead. So basically now builder is responsible to create an object, and the builder will handle this telescopic construction. So yeah, let's uh, so this problem can be solved by using a builder. So this is our builder, like house builder. So build do. So what basically builder do? It allow object creation step by step. Second, object object created only when result is called. Let's discuss first point. When you are defining builder, this is our house, so we have defined the step. First build window, then build door, build room, build parking, and then get the result. So basically builder pattern allowed to create object step by step. So we are not allowed to create object whole. We can create an object step by step, basically. And it can be in any order, not necessarily in one order only. So basically you can call first build me a room, build me a room, build me four room, then you call build door, build two door, then you can say build window, build me five window, and then you can say build two parking, and then you call the result. So now if we go to the second point, object created only when the result is called. So when we call the result here, then only the new house is created. So in all these steps, building window, build door, build room, build parking, we are not actually creating the actual object. Only when we are calling the result, the actual object is getting created. Are you understanding it? Basically, if your object have the final class, the builder pattern allow you to edit the attribute, right? Because you can call build window again and again, even on your final variable. Suppose this window is the final variable. Once defined, it cannot be changed. So you can call build window again and again, right? And keep it on edited. But once you call the result method, the house will get created. So this is basically the beauty of the builder pattern. Now, one example we can take is, suppose we have the document builder. We add the title, one title, then we change the title, then we add the text and then the name of the document. But when we call the result method, it return the document. So now the document is actually created. But to this stage, it is allowed to be editable. And document is an complex object. So that's why we delegate its creation to the document builder. But we cannot create directly the document. The document is only allowed to create from the document builder. So in the document builder, you can create any kind of logic, right? Suppose I wanted title not less than five character. I can add those logic in the builder. But suppose if I am creating a document object directly and using it into the hundred of places, then it is an overhead to go to all the places and change it. If I change the builder, I only need to change in the one place, and then those changes will reflect in all the places. So this is the beauty of the document builder. Basically, what we are doing is delegating the uh, object creation in the builder pattern, means encapsulating the object creation. So we are not exposing the object creation, we are encapsulating the object creation. So this is also one of the object oriented principle. So now we understood the telescopic constructor, and by using the builder pattern we can avoid it. We have taken the example of the house class, where uh, where there are many stakeholders that are creating house, representing different state. Then we solved this issue by using the house builder. Now every other person can call the house builder and can directly create an object. But some point we learned that it allow object creation step by step. It do not create object in whole, like you would define the constructor and pass all the value. It allow to create object step by step. And another thing, the actual object not created until you call the result method. So even if your class attribute is final or constant, it is the builder pattern allow you to edit the parameter multiple times. Basically, it have some intermediate attribute, duplicate attribute. So there is it has assign value. The coding part we will learn, understand on the next part of the video, but we are only trying to understand the concept of the builder pattern. So I think this part is clear. Builder pattern used to create complex object, but now we need to discuss it used to create different representation state of the object. How is this? So basically, what we can do. Suppose we have, I have taken one example. This is our house having the window, parking, and room, right? Now we define the builder interface, means ki builder as an abstract, and we defined multiple concrete implementation of it. One is a luxury house builder, one is a normal house builder, and one is the cheap house builder. So basically we are defining different concrete builder implementation of the object. And basically luxury house builder will build a is going to build a house with 8 window, 4 parking, and 10 room. Normal house builder is going to build a house with 4 window, 1 parking, and 2 room. And cheap house builder is going to build a house with 2 window but no parking and 1 room. So basically, we can make an builder abstract and define a multiple concrete implementation of it. It means for an object, we can define multiple builder. So these all are the different representational state. These all are different representational state. These three are the different state of the same object. So do not get confused by the abstract factory. Builder have nothing to do with the polymorphism. Builder pattern only act on the same class. So it will, so this house is not abstract. So builder have nothing to do with the polymorphism. It only act on the same class. So basically we are creating a different representation of the same object. From the house we can also build luxury house also, and normal house also, and the cheap house also. And we can add some custom logic according to the luxury house and according to normal house and according to the cheap house, right? So this is the second point that we have covered, that it is used to create different representational state of an object. So basically you are delegating the object creation into the builder, and then you can also define multiple builder of the same object. And the first object and the first point, builder pattern is used to create a complex object. Suppose you have a very complex object creation process. So instead of delegating that complex object creation process into hundred of place in the code base, you can make the code base looks clean and follow the good uh, uh, practice by creating a builder of that object. So instead of directly instantiating the same object, they can use builder to build your object. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed the session. In the next tutorial, in the next video, we will learn about the coding part of the builder pattern. So yeah.